Democrats need to stop helping Republicans by compromising. Former Republican Michael Steele just delivered a genius game plan to absolutely derail the GOP. His words were blunt. They're just a minute. Listen to the whole thing and come right back.
Y'all need to chill on this kumbaya bipartisan crap, because at the end of the day, here's your headline: Republicans shoot down Democratic request to ditch party line immigration push. They don't want to work with you. They're not going to work with you. They have the House, the Senate, and the White House. Let them choke on that. Do not help them out because they don't want your help. They're telling you they don't want your help. So y'all need to just come to the table real and understand that the person sitting on the other side don't want you at the table. Get up, take your coffee, and go into another room.
Michael still said, when they go low, y'all better go toe to toe.
The American people want to see elected officials be serious and work together.
No, they don't.
Let me know if you agree. Democrats need to stop helping Republicans and stop compromising.
Colombia just called Trump a Nazi. Let's fucking talk about it. And let me say this first. I fucking love all these presidents around the world that ain't putting up with Trump's shit, because somebody's got to fucking put a stop to the shit. So Trump and the Department of Homeland Security sends 2 U.S. military flights to Colombia deporting people. Colombia blocked the planes from landing, so Trump then threatened Colombia with tariffs. The White House then puts out a press release where they misspell Colombia, but in it, Trump puts a 25% tariff on all goods coming into the United States and then says that in 1 week, the 25% tariff will be raised to 50%. He also puts a travel ban and immediate visa revocations of Colombia government officials that are here in the United States and allies and supporters. Gustavo, the president of Colombia, then says, bet bitch, I'll send my fucking plane and pick up the deportees my damn self. But in response, I'm also going to impose a reciprocal 50% tariff on you motherfuckers. And by the way, don't believe the fucking propaganda. This shit coming up here talking about Colombia's president backs down, offers to send presidential planes to repatriate deportees from U.S. after Trump sanctions threat, which Trump just posts on his Truth Social, fuck around and find out, with him looking like a fucking mob boss. That's not what the fuck happened. The reality is that the president of Colombia said, I'm not going to allow you to treat my people this way. So if you're going to try to treat them in this way, I will bring a plane to pick up my people. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm still going to give you motherfucking tariffs. He also then said the U.S. cannot treat Colombian migrants as criminals, and that even though there were 15,660 Americans without legal immigration status in Colombia, he would never carry out a raid to return handcuffed Americans in the U.S. because, bitch, we're opposite to the fucking Nazis. That's how you motherfucking do it.
There's massive amounts of water, rainwater and mountain water that comes due with the snow, comes down as it melts. There's so much water, they're releasing it into the Pacific Ocean.
Shit, that ain't true. That's just what you saw. When Donald Trump talks about turning on the valve, what he's talking about how we move water and how much water we move from Northern California to Southern California. But let me make one thing very clear. There's no valve that you need to turn on to move this water. In fact, the state is currently pumping the same amount of water from Northern California to Southern California as was the case during the first Trump administration. So what Donald Trump is really talking about is not a water supply issue, but a water pressure issue. Just like when you're in the shower and somebody flushes the toilet, you feel it. That's what happened when hundreds and thousands of firefighters were tapping into countless hydrants because of so many structures that were burning. So while so many firefighters are still working hard, sacrificing to protect lives, to protect properties, and while so many families that have been displaced or have lost their homes, Donald Trump, predictably, sadly, is trying to launch political attacks in his ongoing war against California. Now that is true.
It's time for the Trucker John Livestream. Gonna be a good time, oh yeah. The Trucker John Livestream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John Livestream. It's gonna be a good time. The time of your life. Gonna talk some shit, hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Well yeah, it's the Trucker John Livestream. He's the biggest, baddest funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John Livestream is the best thing you've ever seen. It's time for the Trucker John Livestream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah. The Trucker John Livestream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John Livestream. Be a good time, gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit, hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Well yeah, it's the Trucker John Livestream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for. Trucker John.
Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Can you guys hear me? I was just finishing up my toast. Sorry. You guys can hear me? Give me a thumbs up there in the chat room. Let me turn this volume down here. Looks like you can hear me. I can hear me. Anyhow, it's a 9:15 a.m. Pacific time zone in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. Nick Rich says he can hear me, as does Chris Doug. By the way, Chris Doug is a member. Welcome to Good Buddy, Chris Doug. Chris Doug, you get a yippee! Thank you so much. I appreciate the memberships. Jeff Curry is here. Jeff says my dry January of being serious and not joking is about to go off the rails. Okay, I didn't know it was just a January thing. I thought that was like for the whole year. So does that mean in February we're gonna get funny man Jeff Curry back? Jolie's here. Hello, Jolie. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. We got Jolie here. Brooklyn is here. Perspicacus M says AI has been replaced by another AI. Aaron West is here, so we're at full mod capacity. By the way, I'm gonna have perspicacious. I'm gonna practice that. Perspicacious. And I still don't know what that word means. You probably told me, and I don't know. Yeah, that's a big highfalutin fancy word. Anyhow, but it says hey to Brooklyn. All that for that, huh? Let's see. William's here. Says hey, Trucker John, and everybody else. Hey, William. Good to see you. Carrie C is here. Good to see Carrie. Good to see Carrie C. Thanks for being here. We got the big dog. Big dog's in the house. Non-useless start early, and we'll super sticker chat you. Well, it is what it is. I had to eat my toast. You don't want me to do this show on an empty stomach, do you? Josh is here. Says, "Hey, loungers." All right, just scrolling on down. There's Nick Rich, like number 15. Good day, folks. Yeah, we got 30 folks watching, 32 thumbs up. So keep those thumbs ups a coming. I do like getting the thumbs up. That didn't sound right, but I knew coming out of my mouth it didn't sound right. Alvin Stoops here. Deborah Murphy is here. Kimchi, hey Kimchi, the goddess. Kimchi is here. Mr. Spock, live long and prosper, my friend. Say hi to your chickens for me. Let's see, who else is here? As I scroll down, Deborah Murphy says Democrats are one party set down. Wait, are one party set down? Dr. Phil needs to stop talking to Democrats. I don't know what that means, and I didn't know he was. Belfast Bob's here. Greetings from the Emerald Isle. Hey, look at there. We just got a super chat, $4.99. Thank you so much. From Chris Doug. Yippee to Chris Doug. Thank you so much. I do appreciate your support there of the show, as always. I do appreciate you. Thank you so much, Chris Doug. We met the goal. Got that over with. Got that. That's done. That's over with. Brooklyn says, "Hey, for sagacious, let's see how TJ does with your name today." I know. I still can't do it. Still can't do it right. Yeah, I'm just scrolling down here. Josh says it's 23 degrees here. Josh, I forget where you're from. I try to memorize or where you guys are from, but wherever you're from, it's a bit chilly. Right here in Las Vegas, it is currently 45 degrees and cloudy. We were supposed to get, I don't know if we got rain yesterday or not. Maybe I missed it. When I went out, I didn't see the rain, but it's been kind of cloudy and overcast. There's been a chance of rain. I know in Southern California, they've got rain. They're afraid of mudslides now because of all the vegetation's been burned away. And I know the Southern California mountains, the Big Bear area, has finally gotten a decent snowfall. It's the first one. I mean, they've had a couple little snowfalls up there in those mountains. These are big ski resort areas, Big Bear and Lake Arrowhead and all that. Right there, 40, 50, 60 miles east of LA. And they've had no snow. This is the ski season. This is the snow season. It's been pathetic. Pathetic, I tell you. They finally got a decent little snow yesterday and or last couple of days. I don't know how many inches. But I've seen. Sometimes I watch the Big Bear cam. It looks like they got maybe 4 or 5 inches, maybe 6 inches at the most. Very pathetic. Very, very pathetic. And it's not their fault. It's it's global warming's fault. I mean, usually they've got the slopes open by Thanksgiving. Now this year they might have had a few runs open, but just from the man-made snow they were able to make. But it's been horrible. Now that's not to say that they might not get some huge storms coming in February and March, have these late storms, this late season, but it just ain't right, man. It just ain't right. I blame it on Trump. I do blame it on the Republicans. If you want to be quite honest here, I blame all this shit on the Republicans. I really do. All this global warming shit. Now the Democrats could have done more when they had opportunities, perhaps, maybe. But there's always been, there's always been a fly in the ointment. There's always been a Joe Manchin or a Kirsten Sinema or a Max Baucus. I always bring his name up because I remember I did not like him. There's always someone, or even just from the other side, Mitch McConnell. There's always been an obstruction. And with the start of the Reagan administration, especially, we saw how right off the bat he was against anything, any type of renewable energy. And I've seen Republicans in their bodies of Congress, it might have been in the state level, but literally a guy from Texas. I remember that I think it might have been a Texas state legislator. I don't think it was federal, but he was literally, you guys know what literally means, right? It's not what a lot of people think it means. Literally means like real, right? This guy was really, literally crying about how oil producers were being hurt by any renewable energy. This is probably, 10 years ago. He was literally crying when they were trying to get, I guess, some more windmills made or solar in or whatever. He was literally crying about how the oil industry, they were going to be hurt financially by green renewable energy being, advocated for or getting any type of funding for. And those tears were real. And it wasn't because he was, I don't think it was because he was really feeling sorry for them. I think it was because he saw his donor dollars drying up or something if he didn't make a big show of it. So yeah, the lack of snow in Big Bear, I'm blaming on the Republicans. All right? And I say that only half in jest, only with a little bit of my tongue in my cheek. Anyhow, back to the chat. Updated just now says, I'm 72-year-old, grew up in Northern California. Water has always been an issue in all parts of the state. Yeah, it has been. So much so that they built a goddamn aqueduct from Mount Shasta, basically, area, all the way down to LA, so that LA could get water. And I'm not saying that as a bad thing. I'm not criticizing. I think it was a good thing. But yeah, there's been water issues forever. And we've gone through droughts before, but it's as the years have gone by, it's gotten worse and worse and worse. Because I grew up in the 60s and the 70s and even into the 80s. I remember we had lots of thunderstorms and rainstorms during the summer. We had a rainy season during the winter. And I lived in the desert. I grew up and lived my entire life in this same Mojave Desert that I live in now. But it just was on the California side of the thing. I didn't live in Vegas until a few years ago. But I've lived in this Mojave Desert my entire life. And every winter, or even in late fall, we would get a snowfall. And then in December, we would get a snowfall. January, we would usually get 2 or 3, maybe 4 good little snowfalls. And by good little snowfalls, I mean, anywhere from 1 or 2 inches to sometimes 5 or 6 inches. And then it seems like every 6 or 7 years or something, we would get a really big dumping of snow. And for us, I mean, that would be 10. I mean, one time we had 10, 11 inches. In some of the foothills, 12 inches in one snowfall, one storm. That would be that sort of that 7-year cycle. But every winter, we would get at least probably 3 or 4 good little snowfalls where it was pretty, it was nice. We get 2 or 3 inches of snow. It stuck to the ground. It accumulated. That was a normal that was normal. It was normal to get those snowfalls every winter, at least 2 or 3 times, 4 times. And as we've gotten into the 2000s, as we've gotten into the 21st century, over these last 20 years or so, it's changed rapidly to where now we don't even get rain hardly. We haven't had rain in months, let alone snow. And now it's affecting the mountains. The mountains aren't even getting it. So this is crazy. This is different. I mean, this is not just the way it's always been. I mean, yeah, we've had droughts, we've had water issues, basically because Southern California is arid, and Northern California and even Central California is much more, gets much more rainfall. But all the people live in Southern California almost. I mean, I would say almost half of the state lives in Southern California. Well, that makes kind of sense, north and south. But the LA metropolitan area, millions and millions and millions of people, right? But they live in the desert part of California. Up north, where all the water is, there's not as many people. So they needed to there's always been water issues from that, just based on that equation. But what we've seen is in these last, especially 10 years, I mean, it just keeps accelerating. The results of global warming, and it's just like Al Gore warned us. They're accelerating, and we will see weather extremes, more and more of really extremes from one end to the other. And I blame Republicans. At me, bro. At me. Deborah Murphy says, I got a page saying how great it is Trump turned the water on. It is raining in California, and now they are worried about mudslides. Yeah. That's what happens when all the vegetation gets burned away. And then it rains. It happens. That does happen all the time. But still, these weather extremes, these really long droughts, it's getting worse and worse and worse, is my point. And I do believe it's due to man-made climate change. Man-made. You can put a chart from like the industrial age when it starts and the release of CO2 into the atmosphere, how it goes up like this. And there's another chart where you can see the temperatures rising on the planet, and they're like this. They're like completely parallel, and they're going up. So don't come in here and try to tell me, and I'm not saying anybody in here did this, but don't anyone try to tell me that global warming has not been a result of our burning of fossil fuels. Don't even try. Don't even come in here with that shit. Chris Doug says that Trump threatened tariffs on Columbus, or on Columbia. What university? It's Columbia. Yeah. Dumbass in need of a geography lesson. And even if you didn't know the spelling, because I've sort of made that mistake a couple of times or two, but at least, you would think that the White House would have spell checkers or someone in there that would go, no, it's not spelled that way. And then you just think, is it intentional or not intentional? I don't know. Kim, she says, my electric is off until 3, 6 for upgrades, so not sure how long my phone will. Oh, Yeah, so hopefully you get your power back on. That sucks. Like, remember a couple weeks ago, I had my power went out here for about 7 or 8 hours, and I thought I was going to lose my fucking mind. I seriously did. Now, I didn't have a car at the time, and I was just stuck here. If I had a car, I would have went to the movies or something. I would have done something, but I was stuck here with no fucking electricity. And my God, I swear to God, I was losing my fucking mind. That's how dependent I have become, I guess, on electronics and shit. Okay, I'm just now getting to the Chris Doug super chat. So again, yippee to Chris Doug. Thank you so much. 4.99 super chat. I do appreciate you. Mr. Spock says good price I don't know, 2x1 of vodka. 2 for 1. Oh, okay. Stock up. Stock up, man. I guess we got Roxanne Armfield's here. Hey, Roxanne, good to see you. Anthony Reminiak is here. Good to see you, Anthony, in the old driver's lounge. I'm scrolling on down. Search for you. Member for 2 months. Thank you so much. Says, yo, truckers, what sad shit are we chatting about today? Search for you. Thanks for being a member. I guess so far just about weather stuff. And man-made climate change. Alvin Stoops says KC Chiefs, spelled wrong, but anyhow, KC Chiefs going for a three-peat, TJ? They are going for a three-peat. There's no debating that. They are going for a three-peat. Because they won the AFC Championship. That means they get to go to the Super Bowl. So yes, they are going for a three-peat. MJ Daniel says, and imbecile DJ T thinks there is a water pipeline from Canada. I don't know what that's all about. I don't know if he's trolling, or how much of it is just, stupidity. Who knows? Who the freak knows? Teresa TAK is here. Good to see Teresa. Thanks for being here. Anthony Reminiak says, we are only at the beginning of his dark age that's coming, of this dark age that's coming. The Republicans are going to pay a very dear price for it. MJ Daniel says, always been in Washington, grew up on the drier east side. I have noticed changes in the weather here too. Yeah, it's changing everywhere. We're at the point where it's just massive change. Hey, Tim Farrell says, hey, gang, if y'all are not following Jim Acosta on Blue Sky, please do support him for his stand for the truth and unwillingness to bend the knee like CNN did to Trump. Truth matters to Jim. Well, thank you, Tim Farrell, for putting that in there. Thanks for being here, by the way. And yeah, follow Jim Acosta. He seems like a good fella. A good fellow. Walter Makarovich is here, says, good morning, Trucker John. Good to see you on Ojeda Live last night. Yeah, in the chat room, you mean. I wasn't on the show. So, although, Major Ojeda, if you're watching, I'll be a guest if you'd like. Was I in the chat last night, by the way? I remember watching Ojeda. I don't remember saying anything, but sometimes I just go in and say hi, so I don't know. I did not drive last night, by the way. I didn't feel like it. I was going to, and I was just like, I'm going to take a day off. I need to take a day off. So I did not drive last night. I might not drive tonight either. I don't know. We'll see. MJ Daniel says Colorado River does not even reach the Pacific anymore, and you can see on Lake Powell how far the level has gone down, and I totally blame the GOP. Absolutely. I do too. Me and MJ, we both are blaming Republicans. And we only say that with a little bit of tiny bit of tongue in cheek. Because, I mean, primarily, the the Republicans are ironically not the best conservationists. At least not within my lifetime. Josh says, MJ Daniel, I just watched a thing talking about reservoirs getting close to Deadpool. I don't even know what that means. Brooklyn says it's freezing in Brooklyn, apparently. Deborah Murphy, go Chiefs. William says Eagles. Chris Doug says Buffalo Bills. Oh, wait, we blew it again. That was a tough game, man. I watched it. Came down to the wire. I don't have a dog in that race. I did tell one of my passengers that I would root for the Bills, but, just to appease them because they were Bills fans. But really, I didn't care. And I kind of think it's, at least for the record books to have KC go in and win and get the three-peat, that would be kind of cool, I think. But if they don't do it, if the Eagles beat them, I'm fine with that too. That's the one thing with if your team's not in there and you don't really, I don't particularly hate the Eagles. I don't particularly hate the Chiefs. So to me, I just want a good game, a good exciting game, and whoever wins, wins, and I can just enjoy it from that aspect. Now, if it was the Patriots in there, I hate the fucking Patriots, so whoever they're playing, I would be rooting for, who's going against them. There's a few teams that I just hate, I used to hate the Raiders, but now that I live here and the Raiders are the team where in the town that I live, I don't really hate the Raiders, but I'm not a fan of the Raiders. So if the Raiders were in the Super Bowl and they weren't playing the Rams, then I guess I would probably root for the Raiders. But, not like wholeheartedly. I'm not going to be buying any Raiders gear or anything like that. And I really don't like what's his name, Pete. What's his face? Former Seahawks coach. Now he's down here, the Raiders. I think he's too fucking old, man. He's like 80 something. Come on. Haven't we learned not to be ageist, but when people start getting into their 80s, I think they're just a little bit past their prime. Pete Carroll. But maybe he'll do a good job. I don't know. But how long do you expect Pete Carroll to be around? I don't think we're going to have a long-term rebuilding process with Pete Carroll. So that's all I'm saying. I guess it better, if they expect to win under Pete Carroll, it better be next year. Non-useless says Trump floats foreign imprisonment of American criminals who are repeat offenders. The president pitched the idea at a cost-saving measure. Trump floats a lot of things. Big Dog says, Carolina, I'm supposed to be doing that, but Trucker John is on. I did skip down. I'm kind of mid-thread, so I didn't say hi to a bunch of people. I did skip down. It's ended up at the bottom there. I think I missed a lot. Let's see. Oh, there's where I was. Okay. Yeah, coffee price. Doug says coffee prices skyrocketing. Yeah. It's like people voted for Trump because everything they voted for Trump for, they're going to get the opposite. You know what I mean? Paula's here. Hey, Paula. Good to see Paula in the chat room. Driver's Lounge. Lightfoot SP is here. Hey, good to see Lightfoot. Hello, Lightfoot. I still didn't see Carol. I missed Carol. Let's see. Don Hughes says Mike Johnson has been reported to have bought a fleshlight to share with us. That's gross. Chris Doug says climate change is real. When I was a child in the 70s, half of the leaves would be on the ground. Now they hold on until late November and December. Yeah, they're confused. They don't know. They're like, what is this? Anthony, remembering I have to leave. I have chores to do. All right, Anthony. Well, thanks for being here for the time that you were here, and hopefully we'll see you on the next one. Oh, there's Carol. Carol Lana says just got back from store. I'm going vegetarian, sorta. Stocked up on coffee, eggs, over $7 dozen. Now in Ohio, outbreak of avian here, so they killed millions of chickens. Shoppers had zero idea. Shoppers, you need to start watching some news or something. Big Dog says, with the water valve, I think Trump really believes it because his advisors had to explain it like you would a child. Yeah, that I tend to agree with that. I think I'm agree with that. I think I'm going to agree with that. I don't know why I'm doing some weird accent. I don't know. Big Dog says, Carolina, I'm supposed to be doing that, but Trucker John is on. Oh, shopping, I guess. Says non-mutual, arguing that sending U.S. criminals overseas for a small fee would cost less than imprisoning them at home. It just sounds good to the base. It sounds good to the maggots, right? That's all any of this shit is. Because the maggots, like, they love to hear anything that sounds like, yeah, we're gonna get them immigrants, gonna round them up. Yeah, we're round them up and send them back to where they belong. If it wasn't for the fact that I have to buy eggs and I have to buy food, if there was some way we could just make it so that only the maggots have to get high prices, then I would be like, yeah, see, you motherfuckers are going to get what you deserve. But I don't deserve it, and you and I, and most of us in the chat, we don't deserve it. That's the bad part, is that we are getting it too. But these maggots, when all their prices go up for their cigarettes and their eggs, their everything, coffee, with, like, the produce, it's all going to go up. It's going to skyrocket. So all you fucking maggots, you're getting what you deserve, and all you fucking people who maybe normally would have voted for a Democrat and you didn't, or you just voted because you heard something about Trump was going to lower egg prices or whatever, you're getting what you deserve. You are getting what you deserve. Walter McCarrick says, thinking about pardon by your president 1 week, the next year history karma. Well, I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what you're talking about, but yeah, the guy who was out got pardoned and it was out and then got killed all within a couple of days. And that was my sentiment exactly. Walter, was karma's a bitch, man. Chris Doug says, as a Giants fan, I am required to despise the Eagles, and I'm sick of KC. See, I don't get sick of that. I hear a lot of people say, I'm sick of the same old teams and stuff like that. I mean, like I said, if I had my druthers, the Rams would be in the Super Bowl every fucking year. Notice I'm wearing a Rams hat. Now, all the non-Rams fans, they would hate it. They would say, I'm sick of this. It's always the Rams every year. But as a Rams fan, I would love it. I would love if they were in the Super Bowl every year, and I would love it if they won the Super Bowl every year. But everybody else who's not a Rams fan would fucking hate it. But I'm not a KC fan. I don't get sick of teams because I know that they're not going to be there forever. Patrick Mahomes is going to get old and he's going to retire someday. Andy Reid is going to get older and retire someday. They're not going to always be there. So, it's going to end just like the Patriot run ended. We've had other sort of, I guess you call them dynasties. The Steeler dynasty, that ended. We've had some good runs with the Dolphins in the early 70s. Cowboys had some runs. All those come to an end. These players don't last forever. They only have a small little window where they are physically able, in their prime to, and those they don't last forever. So I don't, I guess I just don't think of it that way. Anyhow, Big Dog says, Keith Polite, I discontinued my DirecTV. Don't think I can trust the networks again. Non-Useful says Elon Musk is boasting of saving more than $560 million in government spending by slashing programs, contracts, and leases. Yeah, well, we all know that Elon Musk is an asshole. Pam J's here. Hey, Pam, good to see you. Says, hello, I got lonely in the Facebook chat. Jolie and Brandon in here. Jolie's here. I don't know. Was Brandon here? But Pam J, good to see you. Didn't mean for you to be all lonely. Robert Perez is here. Hey, Robert Perez. Top of the morning, Trucker John, and the lovely people who voted for the American way. Hello. Hello, Robert. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us here in the Driver's Lounge. Always good to see you. Non-mutual wholesale coffee up $3.48 a pound. Pam J laughing out loud. Jolie is always in here. Yeah, she usually is. Paula says, did anyone see Trump's stamp name on the burger buns? Oh my God, I did not. I did not see that. Carolina says, turn TJ on in car, so I missed nada. I'm here, just got home. All right, Carol, good for you. Yeah, that's the great thing. With Bluetooth and stuff like that, you can listen to the Trucker John in your car if you have a Bluetooth radio. Robin M's here. Hey, Robin, good to see you. Says, hello, TJ, and all you beautiful people. Well, hello right back at you. Robin M, good to see you. Chris Doug says, Santa Trump promised price reductions for everything, but the reverse is happening. Fapo. Sugar for Tea says, we can no longer trust information coming out of the White House. Hey, Sugar for Tea, good to see you, by the way. Thanks for coming on in. By the way, I am multicasting. We are also on Twitch and on Facebook. For those, if you prefer that platform. And also, it's good, just in case if one of these goes down, then we have another one to go to. I haven't checked those pages yet. I'm going to check them out in a minute here. We got Jackie here. Hey, Jackie, good to see you in the Driver's Lounge. I just wanted to check the chat real quick because if I go to those other pages, it's not going to let me scroll back up or something. But let me just check out Twitch real quick. Let's see what things are looking over there at Twitch. And I don't have it where, like if I was on a regular computer, I think I could, if I was using like Streamlabs, or was it Streamlabs or whatever, I think I could look at these other platforms like simultaneously. But since I'm doing this on an iPad, I have to like leave one and to go to the other. I can't do them simultaneously. But I am over there at Twitch right now. I see that I see Jolie's over there, and we've got Z Nameless, probably some sort of a troll or something. I don't know, but I'm just going to say hi in there for anyone who might come in there if I can. I don't know. It seems to be a little glitchy on my end. Probably. I don't think it's Twitch. I think it's my iPad. Very slow. I was just trying to take hi, and that took like forever. And there, I'm just going to say hi because at the way things are going, it'll take forever if I would do a complete sentence. But anyhow, Twitch is up. We've got Jolie and a troll. Looks like in there, it's Jolie and the troll. So let's see. And now I'm going to go over to Facebook real quick and just see how that's looking. Just checking out. My iPad is going really super slow today for some odd reason. I don't know why. I don't know why I go so. Why go so slow? Okay, so it looks like there's Facebook. I see Facebook on there. See, these other formats, I guess I'm just not familiar with them enough because they seem so hard to navigate. Or maybe it's just my slow ass equipment. But okay, so here I am. I'm on. Oh, look at there. I see on Facebook there's Jolie, there's Pam Johnson. Hello, Pam. Brandon Woods is over there. Then I hate that the chat disappears. Why Facebook? Why do you make it so that the chat disappears? Why can't the chat just be on permanently? See, Zuckerberg, you're an idiot. Mark Zuckerberg, I don't like you. You're a fucking idiot. Your platform sucks. The chat disappears. Why does the chat have to disappear? Why can't the chat just stay on? Zuckerberg, you idiot. See, the great thing about having my own YouTube live stream is I can vent. It's a great place for me to vent. It feels so good to get on this microphone, the world's little tiniest microphone, and say what an idiot Mark Zuckerberg is. It just feels good. I highly recommend it. Now I can't see the chat. See, it's stupid. It should stay on permanently. It should not be disappearing. See, it disappeared. It's just stupid. I hate you. I hate Mark Zuckerberg. You know, I see Pam and Jolie and Brandon over there having a good old time. Okay, now I'm going back to YouTube. Like I said, I can't simultaneously watch them. It's just one or the other. And now when I go back to now that I'm going back to YouTube, it like completely starts over. You know what I mean? It's just I blame probably my equipment too, you know. But still, these I don't know. These platforms are weird. Things should not be disappearing. That's all I'm saying. All right, so let's see. Jeff Curry's here. Mahomes supposedly bought a big piece of real estate about 10 minutes from my house. Well, aren't you lucky? You guys can be neighbors. See, I don't have a problem with Mahomes like I do with Tom Brady. Tom Brady, I don't like Tom Brady. And I think he participated in cheating. I think Bill Belichick, the first time they played the Rams, in I think it was Brady's first Super Bowl win against the Rams. That's all that Spygate. You guys heard about Spygate, right? No, that was against my Rams. And the league did basically nothing. They slapped the Patriots on the wrist. They should have taken that Super Bowl trophy away, as far as I'm concerned. And since I'm a Rams fan, I think they should have gave it to the Rams. But, you know, who wants to win it that way? They should have just made it null and void. There's no champion this year because the Patriots are fucking cheaters. As far as I'm concerned, Bill Belichick does not belong in any type of Hall of Fame. He's a cheater. He achieved all of his success off of cheating. And Tom Brady was a recipient of that. Although, got to give him some credit. He went to Tampa Bay and won a Super Bowl down there, too. So. But have you seen Tom Brady when he does these broadcasts, and they do the shot where him and the other guy will, you know, they like look into the camera and it's just like a break in the game, and they do a little analysis or something. Have you seen Tom Brady? Like, he looks, is it just me, or does he look like the fucking demon or something? Every now and then he gets this thing where he kind of tilts his head and he looks up, and he looks like a fucking demon. It's weird. Now, I'm not saying he is a demon, but I am saying he's a cheater. Inflategate. Anyone remember Inflategate? But Mahomes, I think, is a pretty good kid. I like Mahomes. I have no problem with Mahomes. And I'm not a KC fan. At all. Let's see. Deborah Murphy says Josh was his normal hamburger in the bun with his name on them. I didn't see those. I have not seen those. Trump is selling buns now? I don't know. Trump buns? I have not seen that. Mr. Spock, be a good grift selling Trump-branded burgers at his rallies, but to be Trump appropriately made would include extra at charge $14.88. Laughing my fucking ass off. They would eat it up literally. Oh, extra X-Lax. Okay, I'm sure that I'm sure there was a joke in there somewhere. Tuata 106, the smooth sounds at Tuata 106 here in the chat. Tuata 106 says, to be fair, Zuck is creep. What do you expect? Well, whether he's a creep or not, I would expect him to run a fucking platform where you could look at the chat in a live stream and it doesn't disappear after 2 seconds. That's what I expect. Pam J says chat doesn't disappear in Facebook. Well, for me it does. When I go on, and I was looking at it, it disappears. It comes on. I have to tap it. I have to keep tapping it to keep it on the thing. I don't. Maybe that's my equipment. I don't know. In which case, I don't owe Zuckerberg an apology because I still think he's an asshole. Josh says I grabbed a double cheeseburger and small fries at McDonald's the other day, and the stench lingered for hours. Okay, so you're okay. So you hate McDonald's. Okay, good for you. Mad Max here. Hey, Mad Max, Slava Ukraini to you. Mad Max says a lot of people are boycotting Meta by signing out of their platforms until the end of the month. That'll teach them. I'm just signing out for a week, and then I'll be back. That'll teach them. Non-useful says Tom Brady is a homophobe. I don't know. I have no idea. Search for you, boo Tom Brady and the Patriots. Yeah, I'm right there with you on that one. You know, sometimes there's just some teams that you just hate. The Patriots are one of them, and it's basically because of Belichick's cheating, and then and Tom Brady just being the recipient of all that cheating. And when did Tom Brady? Did he always talk with this kind of weird accent? He's like, that pass, it was a good pass. He has a weird way of talking. Carolina, agree on Tom Brady. I can't stand him. Good, we got some Tom Brady hate going in here. Yes. Feel that hate. Pam J, I don't like color analysis anyway, blah, blah, blah. Geez, can we just get a little dead air? I know, and Tom Brady, he'll be doing his color analysis, and then the play is running, and he keeps talking, and I'm like, Tom, this is the part where you shut up. So you let the play-by-play guys do the play-by, let the play-by-play guy do his play-by-play. Tom, this is where you shut your fucking trap. Okay, they've snapped the ball, and you're still talking about your analysis of the last play. Could you please shut the fuck up now, so that the guy next to him, you can do his job, which is call the play. You know, I hate Tom Brady. I hate Tom Brady. Chris Doug, the devil does manifest himself as a pretty boy to seduce you. Oh yes, Tom Brady's so pretty. Tim Farrell says Tom Brady has had a lot of cosmetic work done. He is a terrible announcer. He is MAGA. I never even knew that. I think Randy Rhoads was saying that Tom Brady had a facelift. And I didn't even know. I just thought he was just weird looking. You know? I don't really care that he got a facelift or whatever. But when he does this thing, like if he's just straight on like this, he looks completely normal. But he does this thing where he tilts his head and he looks up, and it's really weird. It's a really weird demonic look. Bonnie Thompson says currently freaking out while trying to keep a sense of humor. I think you just described half of the nation right now. Nick Rich says 10 a.m., so I'm about 2 minutes behind you, Nick, in the chat. 2106 says smooth sounds at 2106. Says that Jolie Hakodate night view is beyond beautiful. Wow. Okay. Jeff Curry says just on local news a mugshot of a guy that looks like he needs to be locked up wearing a South Park t-shirt that says, "Respect my authority." There you go. Paula says Foxborough Stadium is nice, though. Well, again, why make an open air stadium in a place that gets so cold? I think we need to make all stadiums that are in places that get to freezing temperatures and have all kinds of weather should just be dome stadiums. This isn't 1920 anymore. We could make really nice dome stadiums and not have to put, like, as a fan, I don't want to sit in fucking minus 20 degree weather. Are you kidding me? I don't. Even for the Rams, I would not do that. I got a nice fucking TV. I can just sit and watch that in the comfort of my own home. I'm not going to sit in a fucking minus 20 degree fucking, like Green Bay. I think those are just like wooden benches and shit. I don't know. You people are crazy. Tear down fucking Lambeau and put a nice dome stadium. Apparently, Chicago is going to. They're supposed to be building a new stadium. Finally, getting out of Soldier Field, which looks like it's made just all of concrete, or something. It looks like something literally. Well, it is literally something from. When was that thing built? In the 30s? So good for Chicago. I hope they make a nice, beautiful fucking like SoFi Stadium, like the Rams, or even Allegiant here is a beautiful stadium. We don't need to put the fans and the players through all these elements. Let's just enjoy the football game. I don't need to see them in, if like here, if it was an open air stadium here in Vegas, I don't need to see them dying of heat prostration in 120 degree heat. And I don't need to see players get frostbite in fucking Kansas City or Buffalo or something. And as a fan, I sure don't need to be sitting out in that shit, getting pneumonia or some goddamn thing. So, these are all multi-billionaires. These owners in the league, it's a multi-billion-dollar organization. They bring in multi-billions of dollars every year in their revenues. They can afford to build fucking dome stadiums and not put that on the back of the taxpayers, by the way. PMJ, dome stadiums, they cost money. You got to win Super Bowls to build those. Like I just said, there isn't anyone in that league ownership wise that's not a billionaire probably, or at least they're worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and collectively their organization team is worth billions of dollars. So I'm not going to buy the argument that they can't afford it. They can afford it. They're just too cheap. Chris Doug says, just don't wear a Yankees cap or a shirt in Boston. You will be unalived. Yeah, and I think some fans are ridiculous the way they overdo it. I mean, I know we're kind of joking around, but some of these fans can just get too carried away with their fandom. Paula says Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida was nice. Don't know how with the hurricane they had, the roof was gone. Yeah, they're gonna have to make a new stadium apparently. Rather than fix that one, they just want to build a new one. I guess I don't know. I mean, it seems like to me it would be cheaper just to fix the old one, but so apparently they're going to be playing their games, I think, this coming season at the minor league, a Yankees minor league stadium. It's a triple. I think it's a triple A affiliate, so it's a pretty nice for minor league standards. It's pretty nice, but for major league standards, I don't think it measures up to major league standards. Just like the A's are going to be playing at a minor league stadium in Sacramento while they're waiting for the stadium here in Vegas to be built. Why can't they just tough it out for 2 more seasons in Oakland? I don't get that. Why can't they share San Francisco Stadium for 2 years? Plenty of towns have shared teams at stadiums. Why do they got to play at fucking minor league stadium? The major leagues should not be played in the minor league stadiums. I'm sorry, it just should not. There's a certain standard. When you get to the big, the big leagues, the big show, you should not be playing your regular season games in a minor league stadium. It's ridiculous. They could stay in Oakland for 2 more years. Or they could make a deal with the Giants to play at the Giants stadium, I'm sure. They can do the scheduling so they don't interfere. But they went to Sacramento. That's stupid. And the A's owner is a moron too, by the way. How these guys become billionaires, God only knows, but they're fucking stupid, a lot of them. Hey, Christina Weibel. Good to see Christina here. Christina says the latest rump order takes effect at 5 p.m. today, cutting federal grant funding to things like Meals on Wheels, cancer test trials, state and community organizations that are funded by grants. He's just ticking off his list that he was given from the Heritage Foundation, right? Project 2025. He's just going down the list. He's like, oh, this is great. This makes my job so easy. Here, let's do this. Now we'll do this. We'll do this. Talk about being a little puppet. Donald Trump is just a little malleable little puppet. And he's just doing as he's been told. Josh says, I bet a third of the country has no idea what is happening now, and they won't care until it gets really messy. Well, yeah. And then they still won't know why it's happening. Jeff Curry says, since the Rams left St. Louis, I think the only thing they use that dome stadium for is Supercross and some high school state games. They should have never been allowed to move to St. Louis in the first place. They had been in L.A. for 40 years prior to that, at least. And they were still one of the biggest drawing teams in the league, no matter what Georgia Frontier may have claimed about attendance being low and that justified her wanting to leave. That was bullshit. LA, number 2 media market in the country. And plus she had her husband murdered, Carol Rosenblum, I believe. So fuck her. Fuck Georgia Frontier. May she fucking burn in hell. That's all I got to say about that. Tim Farrow says there's a certain charm quality to outdoor stadiums as opposed to the elements. The fan bases in those cities are awesome. Green Bay, Buffalo, Denver, Pittsburgh. I think they're stupid. You see these guys, they take their shirt off like, oh, I'm so macho. It's minus 20 degrees. How many of those guys go home and get fucking pneumonia? I'm like, fuck that shit, man. I don't need to prove myself to anybody. I don't need to prove myself and go to a fucking football game in minus 20 degree weather and take my shirt off. I don't prove anything to anyone. Non-user says Stan Kroenke paid to have SoFi Stadium built a hot dog and beer in 1949. Yeah, I'm glad Kroenke paid for that. Christina Weibel says Senate is in rebellion. Please tell us more, Christina. Please tell us more. Chris Doug says, yes, Bonnie Thompson, my power company has a charity to help seniors pay for gas and electricity. This is a disgrace. MJ Daniel says, yes, Pete Carroll going to LV. I hear rumors that they may be talking to Russell Wilson too. Crazy. Well, Russell Wilson, I think he played pretty well for the Steelers. I just don't know how much he's got left in the tank because he did sort of peter out there at the end of this season, right? Russell did. So it kind of reminds me of when, now I can't remember the guy's name, for the Dodgers a few years ago. Guys, I can't remember his name, but he was a great player. He was a great Dodger player, center fielder, and then he got traded away. I think he had some injuries, and he ended up playing. He went to Atlanta. I think he went to, I don't know, some other places. And then he came back to the Dodgers a few years ago, and he had this resurgence where in the first half of the season he was definitely like the MVP of the league. God, the name of his name is on the tip of my tongue. He was a really good player. I really liked him, and I can't remember his name. Anyhow, and then the second half he just wore down, and he ended up having just kind of a mediocre second half. And then he wasn't really around much longer after that. I think they traded him or he retired or whatever. But so I think when you're older and you played a lot of years in a league, in a pro league, and you're a great player, you're going to have moments of greatness. And I think Russell Wilson had some moments of greatness in this past season. Can he keep it going? If he did come to Las Vegas or wherever he goes, I guess that remains to be seen. But it might be that he's getting along in the tooth. He's had a long career, and I don't know. I mean, maybe you can get one more season out of him. Who knows? I guess you're on a season by season basis with Russell Wilson. But it'd be interesting to see, I guess. I really like I like the quarterbacks that they have. The Raiders have. I think they had the one kid in. He got injured, and I can't remember. I'm blanking on their names now, but the one that came back from the injury and played the last few games, he looked good to me. I think he actually won a couple games. So I don't know. I would rather see them build with the youth, instead of bringing in some old codger who may or may not. There's a big question mark of whether he can play still, and then I think that just disrupts the development of this young player they've got, who could be a really good one. So I don't know, and I don't know if Russell Wilson is really, like a good mentor. I don't know. Maybe he is. I don't know, man. Tim Farrell says, anyone see Maddow's takedown of Kash Patel? Evil dude, extremely dangerous if he gets in. I did not see that, but I do agree that Kash Patel is an evil and a really sick individual, and who should be nowhere near any levers of power at all, and should be basically still in prison. I mean, the guy was sentenced to what, 18 years or something, and Trump lets him go. I mean, that's fucking ridiculous. Chris Doug says seniors deserve heat, hot water, food, and medications. Trump's America puts seniors at risk. They deserve heat or health. I don't know. Heat, like as in the heat. Like, I get you. Yeah, like your utilities. I get it. Yeah. Sorry, just Chris Doug. Non-useful. It took over 2 decades and litigation to get Stan Kroenke to reimburse season ticket holders in Missouri. Okay, he's not perfect. Bonnie Thompson says, I accidentally watched a football game once for 5 minutes. I was looking at all the tight ends. But Tom Bias is here. Hey, Tom, good to see you. Hey, TJ. Hey, all. Hey, Tom Bias. Thanks for dropping on in. Hope your truck's running okay. Christina Weibel says, Senate is in rebellion about the funding that Trump is trying to cut when those funds were already appropriated and approved by Congress, both sides of the aisle, to help people. Well, good. Maybe this is one where we can get some good bipartisan support, and we can stand up to Trump. This would be the one. This would be a good one. This would be a good one to stand up against Trump on. Absolutely. Robert Perez says, I think teams moving to Las Vegas is letting the sports world getting into gambling is tainting sports in general. Well, I think that ship has sailed. I mean, as far as sports, gambling and everything, it's been here for decades, and so I don't know. Mad Max says Russell Wilson was a king in Seattle, but the grass was greener in Denver, and he sucked there as well, as the fans didn't like him either. Just teaches you if it's not broke, don't try and fix it. Well, I don't know. There's probably more to than that, but I mean, Russell Wilson probably felt like, hey, I've done a lot here in Seattle, like, I won us a Super Bowl, and I deserve to be paid. I don't know. Christina Weibel says Senate confirmation hearings are on hold until further notice. There you go. Robert Perez says now that Pete Rose has passed away, forgive him with a Trump pardon and let him into the Hall of Fame. Ha ha ha. Nick Rich says the current oldest NFL player is 41. The current oldest NFL player is 41. And who, pray tell, is that, Nick? Who is that? Is it Russell Wilson? Is he 41? I don't know. I don't think Russell Wilson is 41 yet. But who would that be? I'm trying to think who's an old guy out there. It's probably a quarterback. The quarterbacks seem to be able to do that. Non-user says breaking news: no media of any kind admitted into the White House without Trump's okay. Christina Weibel, thank you, John. I saw this on PBS News on YouTube. Chris Doug says Pete Rose bet against the team he was coaching, conflicted of interest. Yeah, Pete Rose did a very, very bad thing, and he probably deserved punishment. But I think at some point, I think that the league office or whatever at some point may have been willing to allow him eligibility for Hall of Fame if Pete Rose had, I think publicly apologized or shown contrition or whatever. And I don't think Pete Rose ever did or was ever willing to do that. So then the league said, okay, then screw you. Because we can't just allow this to go unpunished, and we can't just reverse our decision if you're not going to, show others that or tell others that what you did was wrong. If you're not going to admit to your guilt and admit to how wrong it is. Aaron Rodgers. Oh yeah, Chris Duck. Aaron Rodgers is 41. Mad Matt Russell Wilson is usually number 3. Nick Rich says he plays for Seattle. So Aaron Rodgers is 41, and he's old. I don't like Aaron Rodgers. I really don't like him either. I don't know if he's going to retire or whatever. He looked like he was still pretty good with the Jets. I guess he's leaving the Jets, or I think he's. Didn't he say he's going to be a free agent or whatever? So, I guess someone will take him. Maybe he'll end up in Las Vegas. I don't know, but I really think that's a mistake. I think they have a good young quarterback, and they should just develop him and get some just draft linemen and shit. Offensive linemen. Tom Bias says, yeah, I got my truck back, got it inspected. It's got a knocking rocker or lifter. A friend just gave me a 23-year-old Honda. It's legal after a trip to the DMV inspection next. Well, that's good. That's nice of your friend, and at least you got some transpo. I don't know, but that's too bad about the truck. You just got it back, and it's got that knocking still. So what's that about? With a knock, does that mean it's that it's I'm trying to think. That would be where there's a it's not sealing. You're getting that gas in the cylinder when it's not supposed to be. You know what I mean? That creates that knock because it's exploding when it's not supposed to explode or something. I get terrible. That's a terrible analysis there. And Jay Daniel, season tickets for Seattle for 16 years. Carroll is all about competition and may bring on Wilson just to push the other quarterbacks. Yeah, maybe. Like I said, maybe. I don't know if he's a good mentor, but okay, we'll see. We'll see how it all turns out. I mean, you couldn't do any worse. I mean, I kind of, I thought Antonio Pierce. I liked his spirit, and I liked his defensive mentality. Being a former defensive NFL player, and I'm an old defensive player, but not at that level. But and I do think he brought some seriousness and got a. Even though he didn't win a lot of games, he did play with heart. He got his players to play with heart. The defense looked good at a lot of times, and I think they kept their team in it. And they, for being the record they had, the lousy record, they didn't seem like a slouch team. You know what I mean? If you're going to beat, you were going to beat the Raiders, but they weren't going to just roll over for you. So I think Antonio Pierce got a good mentality, a good sort of like toughness mentality. Now they just got to get a winning mentality, and I guess that's what Pete Carroll could bring. And he does have intensity. We all know about that. And how old is that guy? He's got to be in his, what was he, 80 something? So, but the guy, and he is a bit of a crackpot too. He's probably a maggot, so I probably shouldn't even be saying anything good about him. But he is a sort of Energizer Bunny type of person, and he does have this intensity and love of the game. So, I don't, like I said, I don't think it could be any worse than Antonio Pierce. And we'll see if it translates into some wins. The Pete Carroll experiment. I don't know. Pam J says, I don't like Nick Bosa. Anyone? Bueller? Nick Bosa, pretty good player. Pretty damn good player. I don't know. Non-useful piston. Yeah, I think maybe the seals or something. Something's going on there with that truck. Oliver Brownlow's here. Hey, when you're a jet all the way from your first cigarette to your last dying day. Hey, Oliver Brownlow, good to see you. Thanks for being here in the old driver's lounge. I do appreciate you for being here and hanging out with us. Chris Doug, not can be the carb. Yeah, there's something going on. It's something with the with your fuel mixture or something. I don't know. Tom Bice says, I really abused the truck trying to get it out of the driveway. Low oil, just a bad decision on my part. MJ Daniel, maybe it's a good thing to keep DJT out of the White House, but who is really behind the curtain? That is the question. Chris Doug, it's a fuel to fire issue. Yeah. It's just like a premature, combustion type of a deal. Oh, Pam J said Bozo wore a MAGA hat on camera and got fined. Pam J, I don't like him either. I didn't know about the MAGA hat. That will get you automatically not liked by me. Jeff Curry says daughters IROC. That's a Z IROC Camaro Z28 or something. It's just an IROC, right? Knocked hard with low octane gas. Yeah, it definitely is has to do with the combustion. Josh says not could be bottom end of bearings. Usually top end would be a tick. Tom Bias says I can probably get it fixed for under $500. Well, that's not too bad. At least it's not like thousands and thousands of dollars. Nick Rich says Conwold von Schützenbands ain't running anything but his mouth. President Musk wouldn't allow anything else. Mr. Spock says try the Lucas Oil additive. Pam J says, did you mention that Jason Peters of the Seahawks is 43? I did not, Pam J. Someone says the oldest player is 41. Apparently, you found one that's even older. Jason Peters, 43. What is he? What position does he play? I don't even know who he is. What is he, a kicker or something? William says, I think local elections are more important. Well, the national elections, granted, it's all important. It is all important. I'm not sure if I could prioritize that like that, because we see how important I think just the office of the presidency is, and how it's supposed to be the Congress writes the bills and then passes the bills and then takes it to the president, and the president can sign it. But as we've seen, especially with Trump, I mean, who's in the White House really, really matters a great, great deal. It really does. I mean, even with Biden, we had Biden, and we saw lots of great things get passed, and even got some bipartisan support to get some of these things through, and it created jobs, and it brought up wages, and it cut inflation and all that kind of stuff. So it really does matter who the president is. But I do agree that our state and local elections are very important too. But I mean, just think if California wasn't blue, as if they didn't have Gavin Newsom to kind of stand up to Trump. Just think if you had the state, the 40 million people, and it was, had a Republican governor, and that could be pretty devastating to California. And as we've seen, as we've talked about, California now apparently is the fourth largest economy in the world. It moved up from 5 to 4, and it so much of the commerce and of course the agriculture and everything goes to the rest of the country, and supports and helps the rest of the country. So we can't. I guess the point is, we can't just think about presidential elections and even congressional elections, at the federal level. It's important. It's all important. I think the state, our local towns, our city councils, all that stuff. It's all important, and it all matters. And none of that should be overlooked. Christina Weibel says, "Vote MAGA's out in 2026. I am no matter what party." Yeah, we need to get rid of MAGA. That's for sure. Nick Rich, I stand corrected. Tom Bias, thank you, Chris, Doug, Josh, and Mr. Spock. Josh says some of those additives actually work well, and just get another oil change sooner than usual. Bonnie Thompson says, kind of funny, Susie Wiles had Elon's office moved from the West Wing to the Eisenhower building across the street. Yeah, let them kind of get that friction going. Let them, if there's any riff going on between Musk and Trump, just let's just break out the popcorn and just watch and see how that turns out. Google says Jason Peters is an offensive tackle. Wow, yeah, some of those tackles they play pretty long into their careers too. I remember, God, why am I blanking out on names today? The great Hall of Famer Rams left tackle, Jackie. Now I can't remember Jackie's name. I think he played into his 40s. Someone in the chat should know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about. Jeff Curry says, Barney, I saw a comment about that after the Nazi salute said, when the dog shits on the carpet, it becomes an outdoor pet. Ah, I get it. Non-usual says Kansas health officials are fighting the largest tuberculosis outbreak since 1950 with 67 confirmed cases since the new year. Wow. Paula says at Bonnie Thompson, I saw that too. We'll have to see what, if anything, changes on that too. Susie Wiles, she may not last 3 months either. I don't think a lot of these picks are going to last. The Hegseth, he's not going to last. There's no way that Hegseth is going to be able to handle running the fucking Department of Defense. He's going to hit the bottle and he's going to fucking self-destruct. I predict it. Pete Hegseth is going to self-destruct or get self-destructed. Take that however you want to take it. But whatever it is, there's going to be a big bottle of fucking Jim Beam or Jack Daniels associated with it. Jackie Slater. Thank you, Tim Farrell. How could I forget the great Jackie Slater's fucking name? The great Hall of Fame left tackle for the Los Angeles Rams. I guess he also played in St. Louis, probably. Jackie fucking Slater. Thank you, Tim Farrell. William says Musk is like Trump's Kramer. He can't get rid of him. Non-useless says currently there are 9,633 reported cases in the U.S. with an incident rate of 2.9 cases per 100,000 people. Mask up in public, 70 new reported cases in Kentucky. I'm kind of glad I saved all my... I didn't throw out all the masks I had from COVID. I might have to start wearing one non-useful. Christina Weiler says from his last election, it was proven that even though some people voted for Rump and then blew down ballot, says that no matter what party you're registered with, you can vote any way you want. You can. In the general election, you can vote any way you want. In a primary, in a closed primary state, then you have to be registered with that party in order to vote in that party's primary. And I agree with that philosophy, by the way. But in a general election, you can vote any way you want. Chris Doug says George Blanda retired in the NFL at age 48. God bless him. I remember old George. I'm old enough to remember when George Blanda was still playing. And he primarily, in his older years, I think primarily was brought out as a kicker, but he was a backup quarterback. And I remember that because I think he played with the Raiders and he played with the Oilers, maybe. He played just different teams, but mainly I think it was a Raider. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know if it was Stabler or somebody got hurt, and they brought old George out, and I think he started some games at that age. And was still very good. It still had a fucking cannon of an arm. Paula says, I hope Pete Hegseth screws up drinking in public, behaving very badly. That's what's going to happen. He's going to get toasted. He's going to get roasted. He's going to get fucking so blasted. He's a chicken shit. And he's not going to be able to handle that. That's a big, big, big responsibility. And he's never done anything close to this in his life. Nothing in his life has led up to being able to be qualified and be able to handle this job. This is a mighty, mighty, mighty responsibility. He's going to fold like a fucking cheap tent. Is that the expression? And I'm just saying there's going to be some alcohol involved because that's how he's operated his whole fucking adult life. And he hasn't changed. He hasn't gone to any 12-step programs, or he hasn't tried to do anything about his drinking as far as I know. I mean, his co-workers at Fox News said that he would come in with smelling like booze on his breath in the morning. He's going to be a fucking raging fucking alcoholic. And whether he's an alcoholic or not, I don't know. I guess that's for him to decide. But he definitely is an alcohol abuser. and it's going to show, and he's going to fold because he's a fucking dumbass piece of shit. And he's not going to handle it, and he's going to end up something very, 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 very wrong. Something very, very bad is going to happen. And I'm not saying it nefariously. I'm not saying anything conspiratorially. It's just going to be at his own hand. He's going to crash and burn. And I'm not saying he's going to die or anything like that. He might just hand in his resignation. He might be forced to resign. He's going to do something so stupid that even the Trump White House isn't going to be able to save him. So I don't, and a lot of these picks, they're going to be so disastrous. I mean, remember in the first Trump administration, he was going through people left and right because they were all horrible and they couldn't handle the job, and they either quit or Trump fired them because they were just so horrible. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of that. There's going to be a big revolving door in a lot of these things, these positions. Jeff Curry says, "Who hasn't gotten too drunk and acted up at a strip club? Be honest, Nick Rich. I'm looking at you." That was when I heard about the that incident about Hegseth. I was like, that was my response. Like, yeah, who hasn't done that? Who hasn't done that? And I say that jokingly because I've never done that, and most people haven't done that. But still, it was like a little joke. Jeff Curry just teetering on the brink of telling a joke. Jeff Curry. I know you're chomping at the bit. You're waiting for February 1st. For some reason, you've said you're not going to joke for this month. But that was close. That was a close one, and so be careful. Watch out there. You don't want to. You've gone this far. Don't blow it now. Paula says that Tom Bias, so long as he is gone, is my goal. We'll see either a drinking incident or a womanizing incident, or both, at the same time. Chris Doug says only a matter of days before Puke and Pete goes on a bender. Non-usual says Pete Hegseth favorite alcoholic beverage is champagne. Taxpayers will be paying for cases of Dom Perignon. Really, he's a champagne fellow. Well, even makes my point even more that he's a little chicken shit fucking who goes around drinking champagne all the time. That's what you drink that for New Year's Eve, you drink it for weddings, you drink it for celebrations. That's not your drink of choice if you're gonna be a fucking like wild party dude. No, you break out the Jim Beam, the Jack Daniels. You don't fucking break out the champagne. My God, Hegseth, if you're going to be a raging fucking drunk, at least do it right. Do it fucking right. Do it like I used to do when I was in college. And I would just guzzle fucking bottles of Jack Daniels like fucking John Belushi on Animal House. My friend, that's how you do it, Hegseth. None of this fucking champagne and you probably got your pinky finger out bullshit. Hegseth, look, dude. If you're going to do it right, man. Oliver Brown, though, says, my dad, who was an alcohol abuse counselor, used to say that if your drinking causes you problems in your life, you're an alcoholic. I've heard that one before. Chris Doug, last call for alcohol. Jolie says, Trucker John has channel memberships, super chats. You can also support the show by liking, subscribing, and sharing, or buy me a coffee over there at Buy Me a Coffee. Non-user says, Pete Hegseth promised to be a bench alcoholic only. Josh says Hegseth got briefed on boofing techniques by Squee. The jokes just write themselves, Bonnie Thompson says I tried to get into a strip club in my city and the bouncer wouldn't let me and my friend in. Really? Is that a true story? Why wouldn't they let you in? Mr. Spock, I haven't had a drink since New Year's Day. You must be pretty thirsty. Go get a drink, man. Nick Rich, boozers are losers. Boozers are losers. Chris Doug, champagne is kind of dainty for a fascist. Right. That's what I'm saying. Come on, Pete. You know, at least get some, what is it, Fireball? Is that what the kids are drinking these days? In my day, it was just straight up Jack Daniels and shit, you know. Albert Brownlow, come on, he has to celebrate his confirmation. Oh, yeah. Chris Doug, knowing Hooch breath is, he probably drinks Corbel. Paul Burrows, hey, what a surprise. Hey, Paul, what a surprise. Paul Burrows, ladies and gentlemen. Paul Burrows. Is Paul Burrows here? I don't know. I don't know who's here. Now, I might have to end the show a little early today. I do have to do some business. I got to do some business. I got to take off in a little bit here. So I might be ending up a little bit early. But let's see, today's Tuesday, so look out for chatting sessions. Chatting sessions. I should just call it chatting sessions instead of charging sessions. Charging sessions is a thing I've been doing, making little videos when I'm charging the car. I might call it chatting sessions. I kind of like that better. But we're not really chatting because I'm doing a video. I'm not doing a live stream. And I've thought about whether or not I should do that as a video or if I should do it as a live stream. So the thing about it is just if I do it as a live stream, it's kind of impromptu and it might interfere with other shows. It could be late, or it could be early. Whenever I charge, it might be early in the afternoon. It might be late in the evening. So I don't know if I mean, what would you guys rather? Would you rather anyone who has seen my charging sessions? I've only done I think 2 or 3 so far. Do you think? What do you think? Should I do them? Would you prefer a live stream or would you prefer just a video? I kind of prefer the video in a way. It kind of gives me a break from doing live streams all the time. You know what I mean? Like I do these Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. These live streams. So sometimes it's kind of nice just to make the video and not, worry about the live stream, if that makes any sense. I don't know. So I think it's good to kind of break things up, especially if you're a YouTube creator like I am. I think it's good to do some live streams. It's good to do some videos. It's good to do some shorts. Have a kind of a variety of things. So, but every now and then, maybe I might do a live chatting charging system. No, I'm screwing the whole thing up. Charging sessions. I kind of like chatting sessions, but maybe every now and then I'll do it as a live stream. But I think primarily I'm going to do it as a video, just like I said, just to have the variety of things, and to break things up a little bit. Big Dog just got home. Tom Bias, I got some garlic powder. Oh, there's good. Mr. Spock, call it charge chat. Yeah, that's a good one, Mr. Spock. Yeah, I might do that. Now, do I have to always give you attribution if I do that? Can I just, not worry about it? Josh says, grats on the 80 ride. Yeah, thank you. Spoiler alert for those of you that haven't seen the video. I did make my 80 ride bonus there. Pam J says, it is business time. It's only Tuesday. I thought it was supposed to be on Wednesday. Business time? I don't know what that means. Is it business time? Oh, like because I said I was going to take care of some business. But I don't know it was supposed to be on Wednesday, so I don't know. It kind of threw me there. Jeff Curry says, question, which show wrecked the most cars, Dukes of Hazzard or the A-Team? Probably Dukes of Hazzard. I don't know. Bonnie says, get a house band and do it live. Okay. Tom Bias video clips are nice. Non-useful. I prefer live. Belfast Bob says 18:45 p.m. here. From the what would you say it was, the Green Isle or whatever, Emerald Isle. Tom Bias charge chat. Well, that's what Mr. Spock says. Call it charge chat. Josh says, Jeff, which show had better theme music? I like probably the A-Team. Even though you weren't asking me, you were asking Jeff. Big Dog, I like live. Jeff Curry says, Josh, that's a question too. Depends on the mood. Pam J, Business Time is a song. Oh, okay. Belfast Bob, Ireland, yeah. The Emerald Isle, right? Isn't that what you said? Chris Luck, Ulster Time. Don Musil says, Boeing passenger jet forced to make emergency landing after flight plunges hundreds of feet, 6 injured. Wow. Thanks for that news update from Don Useful. Thank you very much. Big Dog says, Jeff Curry, on Dukes of Hazzard, they kept wrecking the same car over and over and over and over and over. William Sopranos had a great theme. Yeah, I like that their theme song. I know it wasn't Miami Steve Van Zant who did that song. It was a different artist, different band, I think entirely. But it just reminded me, for some reason, it reminded me, and I know, Steve Van Zant was, was he Paulie or whatever in The Sopranos? But it just reminded me of something that he would have done for some reason. I don't know. Every time I heard that, I just thought that even though I know it wasn't Miami Steve that did that song, that theme song, but it just reminded me of that. That would be something that he would have. I don't know. It's just my weird thought process, I guess. Jeff Curry says, Josh, when kids little, they love Dukes of Hazzard. I made vulgar words up to the song. They love that. Chris Doug and kids of today, like my kids who are in their mid-20s, just so you know what age group I'm talking about, they don't get Dukes of Hazzard, like how they don't understand how that could have been even on TV. Because of the the rebel flag on the car, and all of that, what that represents to them now. Like, and I told them that I guess I can't speak for everybody, but I was like, all I saw was Daisy Duke's shorts, so I didn't even see the fucking flag. I don't know, but I mean, it was kind of like, to a lot of us, especially me growing up in Southern California, I think I didn't really associate a lot of that stuff with racism like I do now. I think I was kind of insulated from a lot of that. Not that there isn't racism in California and all that kind of stuff, but I don't know. I never. It took me a long time, I think, to finally see the Confederate flag, that stars and bars things that they had, as being the symbol of hatred and racism, and really kind of murder of a people, because slavery is like murder as far as I'm concerned. You're taking away their souls. You're taking away their everything, their choice, their freedom. That's like murdering someone. But I didn't see it that way growing up. It just didn't register. And so when Dukes of Hazzard, I think I was in high school when that show came on, and no one that I know of, none of my peers in high school, no teachers, I don't remember anyone going, "This is awful. This is awful symbolism." That car with they're from the deep South and they've got the Confederate flag, and they're I don't remember anyone ever complaining about it. No one complained about it and brought up those issues, and we just didn't think about it. And like I said, not that there wasn't racism. We went through the 60s. We went through the equal rights and civil rights movements, and we saw the protests. There were protests in fucking California for all that stuff. The Watts riots and all that. So it wasn't like we didn't know that there was racism, and it's not like we didn't know about the Civil War. Obviously, we did. But for some reason, when it was packaged on that show with the good old boys and the funny cop, that Southern cop, but we just didn't. But if you look at the show now, you're like, oh my God, how did that even get on the air? And so I don't know. That's the things that gets kind of lost in time. Like my kids and kids, even coming being born after my kids, they have no way of knowing, I guess, they'll look at something like that and just shake their heads like, oh my God, how is this even on TV? But, during that time, I think, at least my experience is no one was complaining or protesting it or anything. It was just like, oh, those are just good old boys, and they're jumping the cars, and they're running from the cops, and they're doing this and doing that. But it's just weird, like how, and we all can do this. We can look back at, I don't know, the Civil War era, or even any era from the past, and go, how did they do that? How could they allow that to happen? And you got to remember that we're seeing it from a whole different set of eyes, and we're seeing things when we look back at the past. We're in our time, they were in their time, and there's a lot of sort of, I guess, digging around and investigating that one should do before you make, I guess, judgments just based on this current time. When you're looking back at other things, there's a lot that goes into all this stuff, whether it's this our expansion, our westward expansion, all that stuff. It's easy for us to judge now and go, God, that was awful, but you need to kind of put yourself in that time, and it's we have the benefit of being able to look back. Like they say, hindsight is 20/20. So we have the benefit of, but in the real time, as things were going on, it's like a whole different thing. Just like now, we're doing things that people in the future are going to say, how did they fucking elect Trump? Not only once, but twice. I almost felt some Seinfeld coming. How did they do it? Why? How did they get the? Anyhow, but so I don't know. I'm just sort of kind of spitballing here, but as far as looking back, it's easy for us to judge looking back, just like we're going to be judged by the future generations. They're going to say, "What in the fuck were the people thinking about? How did the hell? How in the hell?" Yeah, we could see maybe the first one, but how did they do it? Like skip the term and then got that fucking evil person in there again. So anyhow, I'm rambling. I'm a rambling guy. Rambling. I need a banjo right now, so I could be a rambling guy. I'm a rambling guy. Oh, thank you very much. Okay. Anyhow, Big Dog says the flag is the only thing that's racist. The show itself wasn't racist, except for the fact that it was a southern city with no black people. Well, that's kind of a big thing. Same with Andy Griffith's southern town, no blacks. I think just that alone is racist. Boss Hog, yeah, there was the old Boss Hog. They were rebels against corrupt government. Hazard County, all this kind of stuff. Okay, yeah. Skip it on down. Mr. Spock, there were black people on Dogs of Hazard. They were usually part of a criminal conspiracy from Boss Hog. Paul Sharky Mannion from across the pond is here. Hey, Paul Sharky Mannion, good to see you. Says, hello, TJ and truckers. Did Musk or Trump say anything about the anniversary? Oh, the anniversary, the Holocaust, or one of the Holocaust anniversaries. Was it the liberation of was it Dachau, or I forget now? Apparently, if they had, I would probably know. But Paul, to answer your question, I don't think they even said anything. Josh says, yeah, the Du Bois were for human rights. Big Dog, All in the Family was pretty racist, but so were the Jeffersons. Well, see, the thing about All in the Family is it was supposed to be racist, and it was supposed to expose racism by showing this sort of working class guy, Archie Bunker, and I think they were trying to expose something, but I think a lot of people took it the wrong way, and they kind of looked up to Archie Bunker. They thought he was a hero or something. But Archie Bunker was the racist, and he was supposed to be the racist, and it was supposed to show, I think, kind of the hypocrisy that a lot of people have, or or even maybe subtle and sometimes not so subtle racism, and how he was kind of like the early maggot, like he's this lunch bucket Joe type of guy or whatever, blue collar, and he just sits there and spews racism so naturally without batting an eyelash. And I think the show was trying to expose that the people who do that in real life, that you're a racist. And I don't know if a lot of people really got the message or not. I don't know. In real time, actually, and then the Jeffersons. I remember the Jeffersons. I thought it was a funny show. I watched it a few times. I think I was at the taping. I believe I was at the taping of the very first Jeffersons show in Hollywood I think it was CBS Studios or whatever, where they taped them. I remember we got tickets. My mom, then you could just write to CBS or whatever and get tickets to shows. I remember we saw Carol Burnett show, a taping of the Carol Burnett show, which was really cool. It was really fun to be in the audience and watch that. And I think right around that same time, it might have been the same day, I don't know, but I remember we had tickets to see, and I think they said this is a brand new show, because they kind of explain it when you go in there. They have a warm up person. They're like, "Welcome everybody to this brand new show. It's called The Jeffersons. It's a spinoff of All in the Family, and this takes place with blah blah blah." And everyone's like, "Whoa!" Because you kind of didn't know what it was. I think we had a ticket. I probably said The Jeffersons on it, but we're like, "What's this Jeffersons?" We're like, "Oh, let's go check it out." And I'm pretty sure, if my memory is serving me, I'm pretty sure me and my mom and dad, I think it was just the three of us. This is back, in the 70s, whenever it was. I believe it was the pilot episode of The Jeffersons. Pretty sure. As well as we saw a taping of Carol Burnett. And I forget who the guest was. I know Harvey Korman and Tim, what's his face? God, I'm blanking on people's names today. Of course, they were the regulars. I think it might have been Vincent Price. I think Vincent Price. If you've ever seen the one, and I don't know if Vincent Price did more than one Carol Burnett show, but if you ever see the one with Vincent Price, I think that's the one that I saw the taping of. I think that was it, but I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure. Forgive me. It's been almost 50 years or whatever, so things get a little foggy or whatever, cobwebby. I don't know. Of the liberation of Auschwitz. Yeah, it was Auschwitz. I don't think they said anything. I didn't hear anything. Chris Doug, 71 likes. Thanks. Hey guys, we're up to 74 likes. Can we get to 100? That's only 26 away, right? Can we get to 100? That'd be awesome. So make sure you like, subscribe, and share. All that good stuff. AM says the people felt he was concerned about the people like the true populists. We need to find a populist for the Democrats. Are we talking about Archie Bunker? There were a lot of people that could relate to Archie Bunker, unfortunately. They were the Nixon Republicans, Non-Usual says recently built storage facilities with concertina wire and gate will be used to house individuals. Mr. Spock, what's the deal with Trucker John? Something does a Jerry he does a Jerry Seinfeld and only does half of it. Now I have a problem with this, such as I don't know. That sounds like I don't know, an OCD thing or something. Maybe. Paul Sarkimanian, huh? I can hear you in both ears. New microphone? No, it's same old microphone. So either my microphone is working better today or your ears are working better today. I don't know which. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Who knows? Who can say? I can't say. No one can say. I don't know. Josh says the Dukes and A-Team were basically the same show premise, except one town versus traveling. Jeff Curry says, son at the Smithsonian. The first picture he sent me was Archie and Edith's chairs, table between with beer can on it. See, that's the thing. We put the shit in the Smithsonian, and people I think they get the wrong message. That like Archie Bunker was some sort of good dude. He wasn't. Now maybe he had a character arc, where maybe he got more enlightened or something. I don't remember. I didn't follow the show to the end, but it does seem like the character kind of changed maybe after time. But the shows that I saw, he was just a raging fucking racist misogynist. He was a Donald Trump of the early 70s, you know? Except not so gross, I guess. I don't know. But the way he treated Edith, you know, stifle yourself, you know? Fuck that bullshit. And William says the thing is, Carroll O'Connor was the opposite. Exactly. That's why he was a great actor. Because by all accounts, Carroll O'Connor was a very nice, caring, compassionate man who believed in. He was a liberal. He believed in equality and equal rights and all that, and women's rights. That's the thing, right, William? You're right. You're so right. Jeff Curry, Josh the Lone Ranger, and A-Team have lots of similarities. It's kind of weird. Mr. Spock, did you get tickets to the Jeffersons Moving Up tour? No, I did not. Tim Conway. There, Paul. Paul, thank you. Tim Conway was great. Hung out with his son once in Old Orchard Beach, Maine. Janelle Walker's here. Hey, Janelle, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button for me. We're at 75 likes. And I got to shut the show down really quick here. Because I got to get going pretty soon. But so we probably won't get to 100, but we got to 75. That's pretty cool. 75 likes. I'll take it. Nick Rich, no tough cookie? Probably not. I think they're busy today. Or I think they're a little busy. I don't know. I'm busy. If I'm busy, they're busy. But you never know, Nick. You never know. You just never know. That's the thing about it. You just gotta wait and see. Josh says Jeff is they suffered injustice. Blah blah blah. Okay, I'm just skipping on down because I do have to get going. Mr. Spock, you're supposed to say it doing a Jerry Seinfeld voice. Well, the thing is, the thing is, I don't know if I could do it. So Bonnie Thompson says it's the mic. My left eardrum is scarred, and your audio is on point today. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Non-useful. Archie Bunker was woke by the end of this. Okay. Like I said, I don't think I stayed all the way to the end of that series. I guess maybe that was a good thing. Maybe they ended it like that, and that's good that they did that. AM says Carroll O'Connor was a very educated man. So sad how his son died. Bonnie Thompson Cookie. Tom Bias, thank you, TJ, and all that. Janelle Walker says, good Elvis. Oh, thank you very much. Oh. The other day, I was a couple nights ago when I was doing my ride share on Sirius FM. I put it on the Elvis channel, and I just listened to Elvis all night long. And I made my passengers listen. And the thing about that is, I love Elvis, but when you have a 24-hour channel, there's a lot of songs on there that I don't like or I never heard of or like deep cuts or whatever. I like the hits. But even if you had, 20 hits, let's say hits, and by hits, I mean hits and popular songs that maybe might not be technically hits, but maybe he's got, 20 or 30 songs. Let's say 40 songs going through all the eras, the 50s era, his 60s era, the 70s, all that. Maybe there's 30 songs that I really like. of Elvis, which is really good because there's some artists I might only like one or two songs. So there might be 30, let's say 30, let's just say 40 just to play it safe. But if you're running a 24/7 channel, you can't just play those same 40 songs over and over and over again. I mean, it gets pretty redundant. So they're digging out stuff that I've never even heard, and there was some stuff that's not very good as far as I'm concerned. So that's the bad thing about like having an Elvis channel, and where all they play is Elvis songs, and if you're listening to it like I did for like 5 hours or whatever, I was going to change the channel, but I was like, no, I'm sticking with it. I'm sticking with it, man. But I just wish they would play those 30 or 40 that I like play them all at once. They should do that. They should contact me, and I'll tell them which songs what 30 to 40 songs that I really like, and they should just play those in a block, one solid block, so that I can just listen to them and just love and get down and get funky, and then when they're done with that, I'll change it because I don't want those 30 or 40 songs to be interspersed. Is that the right word? To be whatever, interplayed, mixed up with these other songs that I think are stupid, or that really it really kills the Elvis vibe. Some of those songs, but Big Dog, how many Elvis impersonations have you driven? Impersonators? None that I know of. Chris Doug, Elvis lives and Levi is no evils. Okay. Mad Mac, are you watching? Are you watching from behind? From earlier? Because we talked about Jim Acosta way at the beginning. Mad Max says Jim Acosta is a great broadcaster, and I hope he gets picked up by someone good after he left CNN. I think Mad Max is just watching the very beginning of this live stream. Hey there, we're at 79. Maybe we can get to 80 thumbs ups. 80. Can we get one more thumbs up before I check out? I'll tell you what. If we get to one more, if we get to 80 thumbs ups, Tough Cookie will probably come out and say hi. All right. If we can get to one more thumbs up, we'll bring out Tough. You okay with that, Tough Cookie? He says, yeah. He says if we get one more thumbs up, that he'll come out. But otherwise he's not. He says, don't waste my time otherwise. If there's not at least 80 thumbs ups, Tough Cookie, I can see him over there. He's like, don't waste my time, folks. Oh, 81. But just like that. And just like that. Just like that. Look at there. You did it, folks. Congratulations. This is your prize right here. Oh, Tough Cookie. Yeah, you want a Tough Cookie? You got Tough Cookie. How's that? That's right. Are you happy now? Are you happy? You got it. You wanted it. Here it is. I ain't got nothing to say. I'm just going to blabber on probably for 10 minutes. Apparently you like blabbering. You've just listened to Chugger John for 2 hours blabber, so I guess you guys are into the blabbering. All right, so what is it you want from Tough Cookie? You want some tough love? I'll give you some tough love. Hey, FAFO, motherfuckers. Huh? How do you like them egg prices now? Huh? How do you like that? Are you happy? What do you think about Gaza? You happy about that? Trump's like, yeah, just clear them all out. Take care of it. Just clear it out. Come on, that's some good beachfront property there. Come on, man. I'm gonna build a Trump Tower right there. Let's clear these assholes out. There, is that what you want? Is that what you want about old Tough Cookie? Laying down some toughness. It's things you don't want to hear, right? That's what I'm all about. Good old Tough Cookie. The things you're afraid to hear. Here, now let me see. Chris Doug says, I want my Tough Cookie. Well, too bad. Well, you got him. Now you got him. Now what are you going to do with them? Let's see here. We got Big Dog says, "Thank John, we love your blabbering." Yeah, well, there you go. Then you must be in blabber heaven. I think that's what I'm thinking. Chris, like eggless cookies. Eggless cookies, right? Exactly. How are you going to make cookies without eggs? I don't know. I don't know. What do I know? I'm just a product of cookiness. I don't know how they're made. I don't know how I was made. How was I made? Now my head's going to explode. I'm trying to think, how was I made? I don't know. Do I look like a cook? Do I look like a chef? I don't know. I'm just a cookie. How the fuck do I know? How many eggs are in a cookie? How many eggs are in a souffle? I don't know. I'm blinking my eyes because I don't know. Look at me. I'm getting all blinky. I'm blinky. Ah! Look at me. I'm so beautiful. I love my blue eyebrows. I really do. I'm very patriotic. Red, white, and blue. Look at there. With a green tie just for shits and giggles. You know? Just for the old shits and giggles. Let me look at. I'm looking down at the chat here. Fafo motherfuckers. Jolie liked that. She liked that. That's right. I'm coming out hot. There, yeah. It's just coming out hot. Like fresh out of the oven hot. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Huh? Yeah. Okay, you guys. So you know that no appearance by Tough Cookie would be complete without an appearance from Paul, the purple beard guy. We're like a team. We're like a duo. But you notice how no one has ever seen us in the same room at the same time? Huh? Is that weird? That's kind of weird. I gotta admit. But anyway, here goes. Hi. What am I doing here? I'm not supposed to be here right now. There he is. Here I am. Sorry, I had a bit of. I was in the bathroom, and then all of a sudden, Tough Cookie's like cueing me to come in. I wasn't ready yet, Tough Cookie. I was not ready yet. I had to wash my hands, for God's sakes. You know what they say? Like do the alphabet or something when you're washing my hands. I was still on like G, and Tough Cookie's like bringing me in. And I wasn't ready yet. I just wasn't ready. But now here I am. And so I don't. What's going on here? I don't even know what I'm supposed to do. Am I supposed to say hi? I go, well, hello to the chat. By the way, hello everybody. Hope you guys are doing good. I hope your egg prices aren't so high. Seems to be a lot of talk about egg prices for some reason. And I hope that may your egg prices be as low as possible. I guess that's the new kind of saying that we're going to be adapting. It's like, may your egg prices be low and the odds ever in your favor. The eggs ever in your favor. That's what it should be. May the eggs be in your favor. Or something to that effect. Is that where we're at now? Are we in? That's where we're at. I think that's where we're at. Yeah. We're in the Hunger Games, folks. It's going to be Hunger Games, by the way. Usually I try to come on here and be sort of a voice of positivity. I got nothing. I got nothing for you. I think we're going to see some massive food shortages and food price spikes, unfortunately, because all the workers, the farm workers, they're not showing up for work because either A, they've been deported, or B, they're afraid they're going to get deported. So welcome. Thank you, Donald Trump. Thank you so much, Donald Trump, because nothing says a great presidency like chasing out all the farm workers so food prices can spike or just not be picked and have empty shelves. Yeah, congratulations. I think Tough Cookie said it. I think he summed it up quite well when he said "Fafo, motherfuckers." I second that. I'm going to second that one from Tough. You don't mind that, do you, Tough Cookie? No, he doesn't mind. Tough Cookie doesn't mind. He loves the attention. But anyhow, so that's all I got. That's all I got. That's all I got. That's my new little tagline. May the egg prices be in your favor. Yes. All right. So until next time, guys. Thanks for letting me on, and I'll see you guys later. You know. All righty. Look at there. We got them in. We were able to get those two in. They were able to. Thank you guys. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for coming on the show today, whatever this is. Tough Cookie, Paul, Purple Beard Guy. Let's give him a big round of applause, everybody. Big round of applause for those guys. Especially Paul coming in with may the egg prices be with you or whatever. I love that. That's a great saying by Paul, the Purple Beard Guy. May the egg prices be in your. How would it go? What did you say, Paul? You said, may the egg prices be in your favor. I loved it. And of course, Tough Cookie. I love that Fafo motherfucker. But yeah, I love it. I love it. You guys are awesome. I'm going to start bringing those guys on more often because they're like way better than I am. All right. So we got 85 thumbs up. Thank you, guys. All right, guys. I really do have to check out. I got to get going. So let's see. Today's Tuesday, so we'll be back on Thursday live streaming 9 a.m. Pacific time and also a 3 p.m. Pacific time House Sparks pre-show warm-up. And you don't want to miss that because that's where we just get warm and loose and I get you guys all ready to go so you can go into House Sparks all fired up, ready to go. So we'll do that. And it's Saturday, of course, 11 a.m.-ish, right after House Sparks. That's where we want to come in and just kind of cool down, kind of, just mellow out for a little bit. And so that's the deal. Now, as far as these charging chat sessions, primarily, I think I'll just do them as videos, but I might do an impromptu live stream every now and then, just for shits and giggles. So be on the lookout for that. And make sure you like, subscribe, and share, and get the show out. Thank you so much. We've had some great support today. We had, just looking back, Chris Doug became a good buddy. Thank you, Chris Doug. And also did a $4.99 super chat. And Search for You has been a member for 2 months. Thank you so much, Search for You. I do appreciate you. Thanks to everybody else for all the great chats and participating in the chat and all your thumbs ups. We got 85 today. Thanks for just for being here, being regular members. Make sure you tell everyone else that you know about the show and come on. This is where we hang out. Basically, I just read the chat back to you. So if you like that sort of thing, and then every now and then I'll go off on a tangent or something. So, but that's it. So yeah, and okay. So as per usual, I always do like this is the. Come on, this is a serious part of the show. Let's get serious for a minute. I always like to end the show with some words of wisdom because I think you should get something out of this, right? You guys have invested 2 hours and 20 minutes or whatever your time, 2 hours and I guess 13 minutes of your time. So you deserve to take something away. It's something that you can use, something beneficial to your life, right? So I always like to end the show with some words of wisdom. Something that you can take with you and use in your everyday life. So, as I recommend always, get your pen, get your pad. We might want to write this down. All right. So, are you guys ready? Get your pen, get your pad, and everything. All right. Here it is. Here's Trucker John words of wisdom for you to live by and go by. All right. Here we go. So, just remember that.
Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes, might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about door chimes, but if we did, I'd be only too glad. So hostile la vista, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stuck to truck driving, who I try to kid. At least when I was out there driving, I could handle a skid. But doing this live stream, baby, has been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again right here on the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna do it again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream, this is where we win, right here on the Trucker John live stream. No, this time to say goodbye, the show is coming in. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry, we're all gonna come back and meet again. Trucker John, on the road he rides, live streaming all through the nights. From politics to pop culture he speaks, no topic is off limits, nothing is weak. From Vegas to the highways, he'll never tire, shouting about food, talking about desire. He's the rebel of the asphalt, the king of the night, with a microphone in his hand. He's ready to ignite. Freedom is his fuel, passion in his soul. Gotta express himself, gotta take control. Moving through the country, keeping it real, no filter, no holding back, nothing to conceal. Rolling down the highway in my rusty old rig. I'm a retired trucker, but my spirit's still big. Living in Vegas, where the lights never sleep, broadcasting my thoughts for the world to keep. From politics to pop culture, I've got it all. Sharing my views, no matter how big or small. Talking about food, the movies and bugs, shining a light on all the social issues. No shows, I've driven through the desert, seen the city so bright, but now I'm living in a different kind of fight. From my apartment in Las Vegas the key, exploring the world through my live stream for free. I'm our apartment in Las Vegas. I hold the key, exploring the world through my live stream for free.